Well, and then a motorcycle cop came off and laid his bike down practically just within 5, 10 feet of me.
And you
looked
say
at
the second and third shot came pretty quick.
Yes, it did. And so he laid his bike down and went for his gun, and I looking in my direction. That explains why I was laying on the ground. I thought he was going to start shooting at somebody behind me, and I knew damn well that I did not want to be in the line of his fire. So, see, it wasn't because I was scared of someone hitting me that was shooting from elsewhere. I thought he might start shooting at someone behind me, and that I've had to explain that to a lot of people why I was doing on the ground. It appears that I was scared. I heard somebody say, boy, that guy was really smart to hit the ground that quick. But the reason I was real smart to hit the ground is because I was concerned that that cop would shoot that gun. I knew it wouldn't be me, but in my direction. And so that is also probably an interesting point that it's probably a lot of people wouldn't understand until, they heard that statement there.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I didn't know that. That's very interesting. In your opinion, would you say that the second and third shot was, in your opinion, too close together for one person to do?
I definitely, my doubt was always because they were so close together. And at the time I heard it, it didn't seem to me like they were more than 2 or 3 seconds apart. It was just so simultaneously that it was unreal. And of course I heard Jackie Kennedy, she was reaching over there to get, and at that time I also thought she was trying to grab that officer's hand. I've heard different versions of that. I've heard people say she was trying to get out of the car. I don't believe Jackie Kennedy was trying to get out of the car. I thought she was trying to grab that FBI guy that came running up there to dive on the car. And she said, oh God, they're trying to kill us all. And I did hear that, and I was right beside that and didn't see all the blood on, the car then. When I first saw Kennedy go down, I wasn't sure that he wasn't ducking on that first, after that first shot. I just automatically thought he was just trying to get down out of the line of fire.
Did you see his hands go to his throat or anything
yes,
like that?
Yes, I did, yeah. But I still didn't associate that with being hit, per se. All of that had to come later. I didn't see the blood, and I didn't see, I heard Jackie saying, oh God, no, they're trying to kill us all.
Did you unfortunately see the effects of the headshot on Kennedy?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. I guess it was just too much. You trying to piece together there and look and see what was going on.
You didn't have very much time to.
No, to react on anything. And so I did hear all that, and then after the motorcade got by is when I run across the street to go up to Knoll, and that's when I was stopped by this guy that I know he had a gun under his trench coat. I could see the muzzle. I might have been running right straight into it.
How soon would you say after the car passed did you go over there?
Within 2 minutes. I meant it was all I waited for was the last car to pass. So however that long that was.
Did you see anybody jump off any of those cars, or no? They all.
I don't recall seeing anyone jump off the cars. I don't ever recall that. I recall how fast they had to speed up to try to get out of there. And I suppose all
did they appear to slow down? Did the car appear? A lot of people say they think that the car momentarily stopped or slowed down.
I think it did momentarily stop. I thought it momentarily stopped there again for that guy to run up there and jump on. And I think it was stopped because I've read since then that he stepped on that bumper deal and he slipped. Why he was laying prone like he was laying there. And I think why he slipped is because the car started back up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
that would have been a pretty trick to do, to try to run.
Well, it wasn't timed that way. It would just happen that way. And so because it happened that way, I thought, well, that was why he was laying prone over the back of the car there.
And you ran across the street and went to not to the fence area, a little bit in front of you to the left, but you went more
More
toward
toward
the
the end
center.
of the
Yeah, the
school
end
book
of the
depository.
right.
And that's where this guy stopped me.
How far did you get?
I got right up to the top, near the top
Okay.
of the node.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Mhm.
Okay. And that's when he said, you better not come over here. You better not go any further because you can get shot or killed. And I don't remember too excited at that time, whether he said shot or killed.
But he had on a, did you
He had on
say,
a suit. He was
suit?
dressed as a detective or an FBI person.
do you remember by any chance if he had dark hair or light colored hair or?
Well,
or tall or-
he had on a hat.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't study him that quite, and I just reacted because
Sure.
he said, don't come any further, no, y'all better not go any further now.
Yeah.
He didn't
After something
deny success, or he didn't try to block us, or he just made that statement.
Uh-huh.
And it was other people doing the same thing too, so I know it was other people heard that statement. I don't know how many of them would have seen the gun,
Uh-huh.
that all I saw was just the muzzle of it. 'Cause it was completely
Under his
covered up.
coat?
Under his coat.
Under his suit coat,
Yeah. Well, not under his trench coat he had over his arm.
trench coat.
And I had to assume that was a FBI man because I've seen pictures of FBI men carry
Yeah.
a coat around that way. And they don't just flash a gun around, they conceal it. And I thought, well, that was an FBI man, had authority to say that what he did. I didn't argue the point.
Well, I think Officer Joe Smith was shown, he came up and pulled his gun on a guy in a suit, and the guy showed him Secret Service identification, and he stated that to the Warren Commission, and that, I don't know, might have helped the CIA, I don't know, but, they, as you're probably aware, they said that they didn't have anybody in that area at that time, so that is kind of...
Well, it has been since, and it's fairly recent. Some kind of detective out of Fort Worth, private detective, and I think he told me he was going to write a book, but he showed me some pictures of some people that one of them I did identify as looked like the person I saw.
Really?
Yeah. And then he didn't tell me their names or anything like that before he showed them to me. He said, now if you look at them and if you see one that you like, he said, it looked like, well, if you would, I appreciate it. So he had about a half a dozen pictures, and then finally one of the 4 or 5 he put out there did have a look similar to the guy. We're talking about a lot of years. But did look similar to the person, statue, height, and everything else. And then after I told him that's what it kind of looked like, he told me it was this the guy, a police officer, had his since died, and his son got into the news about his father told him never to disclose anything until after he was dead.
You mean Roscoe White?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was the picture. That was him of the picture he had laying out of me that I told him it looked like the guy.
Wow, that's
He didn't tell me
amazing.
that afterwards. And so.
Had you seen a picture of Roscoe White before then?
No.
No.
I just wanted to try to be as helpful I could, and the other 4 was just completely. He told me who they were also, but none of them fit the description at all. But that one did, and he was surprised about that. And I didn't believe any of that stuff when I read it in the paper here locally.
Now, were you called before the Warren Commission at all?
No, they came to see me, members of the Warren Commission. They came out to my other building.
Them personally, or just everybody?
Personally.
Oh, wow.
Well, 3 of them.
Three of them.
3 of the investigators. And whatever their names were, I got their cards. I kept their cards, but I couldn't tell you what their names were. But that probably as much as I actually saw, and then I told them that, and they said they'd get back with me, about the report of me seeing this guy up there. And then their report back to me was that they did not have an FBI man, nor was there a
CIA.
detective,
Oh, detective. Oh.
yeah, local detective
Yeah.
or anything that was in that vicinity.
Uh-huh.
Where I said, well, I don't give a damn.
But
I
they
said,
they didn't try to say, well, you're.
well, I mean,
Crazy.
my point is why would I tell them that and then I turn around and go back? Because I don't want down the railroad track had I not been stopped.
Right.
That's what I intended to do, no other reason made me change my mind
Mhm.
other than that statement. See?
Mm-hmm.
Because I was still under the assumption then, because everybody was running down that way,
Yeah.
that they saw somebody running and the police were after him to get him, you know.
But these people, they didn't try to discredit you, or they were. I mean, what I'm trying to say is they didn't say, well, you're crazy or anything like
No.
that. They just said, well, we got a report that there was nobody there, and they dropped it at that. Huh?
That's what they
Yeah,
said.
that's what they
They said we did not have a FBI nor was there a local detective, police force in that vicinity.
Uh-huh.
And that's all right. I mean, I made the statement. That was, as far as I'm concerned, I don't care whether they cared or they didn't care or
Uh-huh.
what. And no way to, and I thought I needed to try to prove it. I wasn't even concerned.
Yeah.
And so that's where it started.
How long did you stay? In other words, you left after you met or
Right
came in
after I was
contact
stopped,
with. Yeah.
I turned around and went back over to the terminal annex, which is the post office,
Uh-huh.
where I'd parked my car and vehicle. Called my wife, and then I hung around over at the post office maybe 10 minutes telling him all about it and calling my wife on the telephone. And then the other odd twist about it is I lived at that time, I lived in the 400 block of East 12th Street.
Mhm.
And if you remember, this Officer Tibbet got shot on the 400 block of East 10th Street,
Right.
which was 2 blocks over. Difference, I mean, the same number, but only 2 blocks over. And my whole neighborhood was swarming with cops out there. And I'm thinking, what did I...
You just missed it.
I said, well, what, I mean, what's so many cops doing in this neighborhood? Were they following me out here or what?
Uh-huh.
And but it found out, of course, in a short time there that they were looking for
Oswald.
Oswald.
Well, thank you very much, Summers. Mr. Summers, I appreciate your time and effort.